Welcome to the Festival of Storytellers.
I can't tell you how excited I am to be on right now. It's been a couple of weeks of excitement, getting prepared, and I've done a lot of things in my life, but this has got to be close to the top.
Thank you, Reader's Magnet, and thank you, John, for putting this forth and taking the chance on us authors in presenting this out to the world.
I've enjoyed this immensely, Joanne.
Ellie, so have I. Thank you for who you are, and thank you, Reader's Magnet. You all are beautiful, and you've worked so very hard, and we are blessed.
We are.
I thank everybody that's involved with this process, because we know writers need readers and writers need publishers. We thank Reader's Magnet and everybody that's involved. I love Reader's Magnet. They say, we share your stories with the world.
Welcome, storytellers and fairgoers, to the most exciting part of the Festival of Storytellers here in Reader's Magnet, the author of the hour. Joining me here today is my co-MC, Mia. Hi, Mia.
Yes, hi, Riza.
How are you today?
I'm very thrilled to be part of the event for our authors and excited to hear what they're about to share.
Well, can you tell us more how what you're feeling right now? Are you excited aside from thrilled? Do you have any anticipations?
It's actually my first time. It's actually my very first time joining any book event. I'm excited to be part of Reader's Magnet. So yeah.
Wow, I'm good. That's good to hear. I'm glad that you're enjoying the event, and I wanted to really discuss it too, because all throughout the week you had interactions and interviews with our authors. So how is that experience?
Yes, as what point of view of like a reader, or like I'm also actually into writing. So it's very inspiring to know what our authors go through throughout their journey in writing. So yeah. How about you? I've heard you're also part of the interviewers.
Yeah.
How was it?
Yes, I am actually. It was quite honored. I am quite honored to actually do another and be part of the chapter 3 of the Festival of Storytellers. It has been an amazing journey, and it was something that worth remembering. And it gives me a lot of inspiration, and I learn a lot from the authors that I've interviewed. I've discovered that it's not that very easy to write a book.
It's very hard.
Especially when you start with a children's book, because you have to really think through it, really decide, especially on the illustrations.
Mm-hmm.
And the writing is also another story. Of course, you know how it feels when you write, because you're a content writer.
It's not very easy. It's not easy at all.
So when you were writing, and no, it's different from content writing and book writing. So how do you usually get inspiration for your contents?
It depends, especially on the topic that I'm writing about. So usually I look through about my life. That's basically most of where my source of inspiration comes from. I think it really depends. It really depends on the author, where they get their inspiration from.
Right, right. I totally agree with you on that. Most of the authors that I talked to, and of course that you interviewed as well, I know you will agree to me that their inspirations are based on their experience, their childhood, the experience, their journey in a specific event in their life. Have you talked to an author that had any traumas that they use as an inspiration?
It's not basically a trauma, but one author that stood out throughout for all the authors I've interviewed is the one who wrote the a prison book.
I think I know that.
Yeah, so his story was it's very unusual, it's very unique, and the main character, the one who wrote about, was also very, it's different from the usual main characters that we usually encounter. So, and how about you? Do you have like any favorites or any authors that you?
That's actually very hard to answer because I don't have any favorites. It's just that most of them are very unique, as you say. They have different stories and they have different way of telling their stories. They're very creative in making sure that their stories are heard and people can learn from it, which is very inspiring. So that's actually I don't have a favorite. I wish I do, but I don't have. I mean, I love all of them, especially children's book because
Children's book.
we all have a kid in ourselves, and I believe this is your first time
Yeah,
joining.
it is.
So joining the first time, have is there any tips that you can share as well, or any ideas?
Well, as a first timer, I still don't know what the event or what events are gonna take place. So maybe just join with an open mind. Like enjoy, be at the present, enjoy what's going to happen. So speaking of first timers, like can you give us a run through of what basically happens on Festival of Storytellers?
Of course, of course. There's a lot of surprises, games, and events in store for everyone today. Actually, not just today, for the entire 2 weeks of the Festival of Storytellers. And I believe that we will be doing an author of the hour today. We'll be doing Linda Daniele, right?
Yes, I think so.
And that's gonna be later today. So she'll be sharing a story of her inspiration, her journey in writing, and her books.
That
So
sounds very exciting. I've also heard that we're also gonna have like social networking, and we also will be showing videos.
right, I believe so. We'll be showing videos of what happened during the past Festival of Storytellers. So that's gonna be another journey through memory lane.
Yes, I'm
That's
very excited to watch.
Yes, of course you should. You should. There's a lot that happened the last time, and there's a lot of improvements that we had all throughout that we've incorporated for this chapter 3 for the Festival of Storytellers. So everyone who's watching us live, you can join us. You can log into www.thefestivalofstorytellers.com and be part of our celebration, be part of our festivities.
So actually, while the two of us are talking, there's also actually an event going on in the background. We're simultaneously having our first networking session where authors or readers or fairgoers will interact with each other and like connect and share their journeys as well.
Wow, there's a lot. There's a lot in store for authors and our fairgoers who are watching us. So, when you mentioned social networking, do you have any idea, or at least share it to us, to our fairgoers, what is social networking? Do you have
Um, Basically, what I know is that it's like a get together somehow, of some sort, like readers or authors. They'll be having one-on-one sessions. So an author with an author, and they'll share maybe like connections or like they'll share tips about how they write, where they get inspirations from. So it's a nice way to like grow more as an author, as readers as well.
Oh, so it's like brainstorming.
Yes.
So they're from different locations. They meet in a specific room quote unquote online, very timely with the pandemic and everything that we're going on. There's still restrictions, but at least we're able to come up with this. Readers Magnet was able to come up with an idea to gather authors and share their experience with other authors as well, exchanging ideas, helping each other in how to develop their books. Because that's a very good,
It's very innovative.
yes, that's the word. That's a very nice word to really describe it. So I have heard as well that there will be also other authors doing live sessions, right? You mentioned it that there will be live sessions. So, um, do you have you tried doing live sessions on your own?
Just the pre-event and interviews. So that's basically the live sessions that I have encountered and experienced.
So it's similar to that, right?
Yes.
The social networking is similar to that. You meet with your author and you
You
ask
ask
questions.
questions, you get to know more about them. It's exciting. I think the Festival of Storytellers is exciting and like to encompass what it is. It's an exciting event to meet with other who are like-minded people who share like your passion, who share same interests with you. So it's very great to do that, and you grow, you learn more.
Yes, and what I'm really hoping is maybe one of our authors will get an inspiration with another author
Yes.
and write a book, or maybe collaborate. Yes, collaborate. That's actually a very good outcome of the festival of stories. That would be something to celebrate.
Yes.
If we learn that some of our authors collaborate with each other and they'll come up with a story because they met in the festival of storytellers. That's going to be really exciting. I'm excited for that. So, do you have any challenges while doing the pre-interview?
As for the pre-interview, I don't think there is actually any challenges. How about you, Mia?
Well, this is my third time. When I had my interview the first time, the challenge was to learn about the authors. So the best thing to do is research.
Yes.
Right. That's
Come
how.
up with questions.
Yes.
Very difficult, especially with since they have each has like varying topics, very varying topics. So it's kind of difficult to come up with questions.
Yes, and you have to make sure that the questions fit.
Yes.
Exactly, because you don't want to give them make them feel uncomfortable. So how did you overcome those challenges?
So as you mentioned, I researched. I also well, we didn't have any resources to read like the whole book, so we just based it on the synopsis. I think that's actually very helpful. So to base it on synopsis.
Right. Base it on the synopsis, and also talk to the author. Ask them personally
Yes, of
what
course.
they want to talk about, and um, you know, basing on just the cover. Just looking at the covers of the book, you'll definitely have a lot of questions,
Yeah.
especially you asking, how did they come up with the cover?
Fortunately, the covers also they reflect perfectly what the book is about. So that's
I agree.
props to the cover makers.
Exactly, I agree. They have very wonderful cover, and some of them are very unique, very colorful. You can't really tell if this book is a fiction or not. Right? And children's book are also another story when in terms to the book cover, because book covers you have to be very specific on what you want, because you don't want to also give out the plot.
Yes, of course. Like you need to leave maybe like a little mystery, a little bit of like spice on the cover.
Exactly. You have to give, you have to tickle the minds of those fairgoers or those book lovers who wanted to, buy books. Because, well, I mean, I can tell that you love books. So how do you pick a book?
Well, I think any reader would probably agree that obviously the first criteria to judge is the cover, since it's like the most upfront feature of the book. So the better the cover, the better we probably think the better story there is. Then after the cover, you have to flip it and then read the synopsis.
Yes, I agree.
How about you? Do you?
I don't usually judge a book by its cover, but I actually just wanted to read the synopsis 1st. Opposite to what you do, but I go to the back and read the synopsis and maybe get some idea if what the book is about. Because I believe that never judge a book by its cover. You can never do that, because that's a golden rule.
Yes.
And cover tends to be, you know, um, attract you, and sometimes it's not what you expect. So there's a lot of mysteries and things that you have to uncover. You have to make sure that you read the book entirely.
Yes. So the
So-
cover attracts you, but the synopsis is the what pulls you.
Exactly, that's it. That's how you say it correctly. And yeah, so all throughout the event scheduled, all the lineup that we have, is there any specific, part of the Festival of Storytellers that you liked?
Uh, Personally, I like the round tables. Since it's similar to networking, but with more people in one video, in one like setup. So we have more opinions, we have more minds sharing their views, their sentiments. So it's very wonderful meetup. How about you?
Well, I think we have the same mind, and I kind of like that round table as well. I was all throughout the week. I was also watching it and reviewing it. I watched the recorded session, and yeah, it's a pretty amazing idea that Reader's Magnet was able to come up with and incorporated it in the Festival of Storytellers, because they bring authors together to collaborate and discuss how they um, make the plot. I think I remember how there's a topic in the roundtable on how they create a villain or something.
Yes.
So how to develop a villain, and that's very timely, because most of the stories nowadays, especially the movies, are more on the anti-hero, right?
I love those stories. I think the stories.
Because villains have their own backstories, and that's what's new. So yeah, I like that they're able to discuss a lot of things during that session, during that topic. A lot of people, a lot of authors who joined was able to incorporate their ideas, right?
And what's great is that it's not only authors who are sharing their thoughts.
Mm.
There's also readers who joined the round table. So it's like getting ideas from readers and then from authors. So you could incorporate it in your stories.
Wow, right, that's right. I can see that everyone is enjoying. Are you enjoying so
Of
far?
course, I'm enjoying the story.
You're enjoying. That's good to hear. I'm glad that you're having fun doing the interviews all throughout the week. That's actually one of the main reason why we have the Festival of Storytellers, is to make sure that the authors enjoy and learn a lot from other authors and discover also to build their brand online, to build their presence online. So make sure that of course they'll be heard,
Yes.
because that's what our tagline is in Reader's Magnet. We share
Your
your stories with the world. We kind of memorized that already. We've been doing the
For how
pre-interview.
many interviews already?
Exactly. And if you keep on saying that, you actually tend to um, embody it, and keep on saying that. Also, the ones that who's listening will tend to remember.
And
But-
will also embody it.
Exactly. So I think this we have a few more minutes to maybe we discuss the few or introduce our
Or we get to
see the video. So I'm excited for that. The video that we're talking about is the video for the previous year or the previous Festival of Storytellers. That's the highlights of the event. So we will be having that later in this um, later today. So let's have it here, and let's
give it a few times, and yeah, there'll be a lot of improvements that our fairgoers can see and will notice about um, the previous and the current event that we have new and exciting lineup, new authors. There actually, I heard that there's a lot of new authors joining in the Festival of Storytellers. So that's fun. That's gonna be really fun for everyone. So I believe that it's gonna happen today and until
Next week.
next week. That's the festival is from October 24th until November 7th, right?
I think so.
Then there's gonna be more um, some authors doing another interviews and author of the hour as well. So a lot of things gonna happen. A lot of exciting things gonna happen.
I'm looking forward to meeting new authors and also looking back to highlights of last year's events.
Yes, definitely, definitely. We will be we will have more of them later today for the event.